Hi, I'm Victoria and I'm a child psychiatrist. We all have innate parent powers, and if we learn how to use them wisely and mindfully, we can really help our children thrive and can feel confident and competent as parents. Today I'm going to be talking about the second step of the programme to getting you to use your parent powers, and the second step is all about understanding your own childhood. So what I'll be looking at is whether your childhood actually influences your parenting at all, or whether it's something that's left in the past. The answer is yes, your childhood does affect you as a parent, and it does affect your child and the way you parent them. The thing I'm going to focus on specifically this week is actually attachment. Now, you've probably heard about attachment, most parents have, and they've usually heard about it through reading books when the child was very little, when they were babies. Attachment style parenting is very popular, there's lots of attachment books, and it's all about how to foster secure attachment in your own child. And we often think that it's something that happens in the first year of life, and then once it's done, and we don't really have to think about it as parents because whatever's happened has happened. And though it is true, the child certainly forms an attachment style in the first year of life, actually you have an attachment style all the way through your life. When you're a teenager, when you're an adult, you have an attachment style. It's not something that really goes away. And it's actually something that is fairly fluid, that just because you formed one attachment style when you're little doesn't mean that you can't change that later on in life. It's certainly harder, but it's still possible and it still does happen. So what is an attachment style? Basically, it's the way you have relationships. So if you're someone who is secure in your attachment, you'll be someone who feels okay with having a relationship, who wants closeness. You'll be someone who can repair relationships quite easily if they go wrong, and you can let go if that feels like the right thing. Unfortunately, if you have insecure attachment, then you can feel worried that people aren't going to like you. You can try very hard to make people like you and always be worried that people are going to leave you. And there's other things that can happen in those different kinds of attachment, and you will have a way that you relate to people as an adult, and that sort of style also goes to your children. So you will relate to your children in a certain way, and your attachment style will affect the way that you relate to your child. And that's why it's important. So your relationship with your child is still a relationship, and your attachment style will manifest itself in that relationship. And one of the things that we know is that actually your attachment style as a parent is one of the biggest predictors for what your child's attachment style is going to be like. And it doesn't matter if you try and do all the things that you absolutely have to do in the first year of life. If you don't think about your own attachment style and how you relate to your child, actually that can be affecting your child without you even knowing about it. So that's why it's actually very important to understand your own attachment. And if you think, well, actually I'd like to move towards a secure attachment and I don't think that that's what I have, that is absolutely possible. You just need to be aware of it, and you need to know what it means to be securely attached, because often that's quite hard to imagine if that's not something you have experienced yourself. So attachment is something that will be covered on the Parent Powers programme in week 2, and we do an attachment quiz, so please have a look at that if you're interested. But this week, have a think back to your own childhood and have a think about your own experience, the kind of relationships you have, and whether those are the kinds of relationships you want your child to have with you and with the people around them. I hope you enjoyed doing that, and if you think that you want to know a bit more, check out my website.